Fix conduct disorders with astounding Bible Proverbs therapy. What are conduct disorders, and especially what is their cause? Biological brain or mental mind? How do you avoid and heal them? Prevalence and nature of conduct disorders. In the U.S. vice presidential debate, Vance addressed the question of mental health and just how widespread it is. We unfortunately have a mental health crisis in this country, he said. See excerpt from the video below. It's not the only one. Michel Barnier, Prime Minister of France, declared 2025 the mental health year in that country. This is Chapter 26, Exercise 2, from the book Transform Your Mind, Upgrade Your Life, from The Explanation with Sam Kneller. Let's see the classical analysis of conduct disorders from Nationwide Children's Hospital. Conduct disorders refer to a group of behavioral and emotional problems characterized by a disregard for others. Children with conduct disorder have a difficult time following rules and behaving in a socially acceptable way. Their behavior can be hostile and sometimes physically violent. Note 2 points right from the start. First, children with conduct disorder can be found across all races, cultures, and socioeconomic groups. Sam's comment: conduct disorder exists everywhere and is not exclusive to any specific group. We need a global solution. And second, research has found that children and teens with conduct disorder seem to have an impairment in the frontal lobe of the brain. Sam's comment: this is the article's only mention of biological and neurological causes. I'm not saying neurology doesn't play a part. Indeed, there are minor and severe brain damage that can impair the mind. They're out of the scope of Bible Proverbs therapy. The article goes on to list many external influences. 1. Having experienced abuse, parental rejection, or neglect. 2. Being diagnosed with other psychiatric disorders. 3. Biological parents diagnosed with ADHD, alcohol use disorder, depression, bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia. 4. Poor nutrition. 5. Living in poverty. 6. Maternal psychopathology. 7. Poor parenting, lack of parental involvement. 8. Inconsistent, overly harsh, or otherwise ineffective discipline. 9. Exposure to violence. Society, I'd add sex. 10. Peer delinquency. Again, society. 11. Having been subjected to physical, sexual, and/or emotional abuse. And 12. Lack of adequate parental or other adult supervision. You must realize that all of these points point to parenting. Here's a scenario. Normally constituted babies and children are not born with nor subject to conduct disorders. The nurturing, or rather the poor nurturing, is the cause. That's why I stated that conduct disorders are not kids' problems, but parents' and societal problems. That's where the buck starts. This is a generational dilemma. If we want to turn it around, we must impact parental caregiving. Bible Proverbs Therapy, Exercise 2, conduct. Conduct is the second of the 5 areas of consciousness. Biblically, human conduct has 7 parts: two-faced, free will, behavior, ethics, justice, self-reproach, and forgiveness. The more one of these areas is distorted, the more we'll have conduct disorders. Specific attitudes, feelings, and actions elaborate on these 7 steps. Each of us displays hundreds, probably thousands of aspects of conduct. This second exercise isolates one specific conduct. It could be alcohol, debt, parents, envy, laziness, poverty, anger, children, pride, wealth, women, adultery. Even those traits are global. Drill down until you get to one specific behavior you can identify and work on for a week. It's your personal choice. If you're unsure, talk to a good friend and ask them to point out some behavior you might not even be aware of that needs improvement. For this exercise, I've chosen tongue, and to be specific, 4-letter words that are obscene. We could also include blasphemous expletives like Jesus or oh my God. It seems we have to use them. These phrases get interjected into our dialogue, often without us realizing it because it becomes so natural. The 6th aspect of conduct is self-reproach, seeing ourselves with reality and how we are, not just superficially via our clothing or hairdo, but in our minds. When we raise our voices and get overheated, we shoot crude interjections out of our mouths faster than we know. Well, it's time to think about and bring it under control, even to a complete stop. Proverbs 21:23. Whoso keeps, that's Strong's H8104. Whoso keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps, again, H8104. Whoso keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from troubles, H6869. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of exercises to keep your mouth and tongue. Study during the week. Use unlockbiblemeaning.com. The word troubles, H6869. The translators did not use the word anxiety, but the following proverb could easily express it. Keep your tongue, and it keeps you from anxiety. H6869. Sarah. Tightness, figuratively trouble, transitively a female rival. King James Version translations: adversary, adversity, affliction, anguish, distress, tribulation, and trouble. Note the KJV translations and how they can easily be synonyms of anxiety. Study the meaning of the word keep, H8104. It's the same word used to tell Adam to keep the garden in Genesis 2:15 and to keep the 10 Commandments in Exodus 20, verse 6. Keeping your tongue is in good company. Keep your tongue, and it'll keep you from anxiety. Meditate on other verses about the tongue, like Proverbs 15:44. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A curse word might be less serious than perverseness. Nonetheless, it is perverse to a certain degree. If you're a parent using foul language at home, it impacts one person, your child, or your children. Don't be surprised when your child exhibits the same disorder as you, since kids mimic dad and mom's behavior. This proverb affects both the younger and older generations, and should especially be taken seriously by the latter. The same applies to coaches and anyone who has responsibility for others. Articles and quotes about swearing and not swearing. How I finally learned to stop swearing. Remember, you need critical thinking when you read everything. The author of this article goes for hypnotism. Learn what hypnotism is. Hypnotherapy works by evoking a deep sense of relaxation before deactivating the area of your brain that handles analytical thinking. Bypassing your critical faculties opens your unconscious mind to the power of suggestion. Let the explanation based on the Bible state clearly: never lose control of your mind, and never let someone else take control of your mind. Never let your child lose their mind, which they do during tantrums. This is dangerous because if you don't control your mind, something else might. A word to the wise: you do not want that. Your mind is the most essential commodity you possess. Use the correct therapies to beat bad habits, conduct disorders, and anxiety. Use Bible Proverbs therapy. I searched high and low for a psychology article that treated the specific conduct disorder of cussing and couldn't find one that condemned it, except for biblically oriented ones. A study in the National Library of Medicine even showed cussing is an excellent characteristic for reducing stress. It shows that we need critical thinking to separate wisdom and foolishness. Other quotes agree swearing is a no-no. The foolish and wicked practice of profane cursing and swearing is a vice so mean and low that every person of sense and character detests and despises it. George Washington. Some would say, well, that was over 200 years ago. Here's another quote. I was brought up in the Boys' Brigade and grew up not swearing. It's so lovely to behave decently, civilly. Jimmy Hill, English TV football broadcaster. Proverbs 15:23. A man has joy by the answers of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. Who knows if they swore in Solomon's age? But people certainly do today. Focus on a word you use and catch yourself saying it. It's usually just interjected into the sentence. Make a shift from conduct disorder and omit it. Keep it simple. That is, work on one word or phrase. However, you might find all your cussing will come to light. That's even better. By the end of the week, you will have made progress, measurable progress. You're on your way. How do you feel? A little less anxious? Ask yourself why you feel better. If you like, your comments and your suggestions on this exercise are welcome below. Join the free mini-course, just 20 minutes of video, to see the deeper God-intended meaning of Adam and Eve's nakedness. based on 7 keys to master biblical Hebrew with no fuss. theexplanation.com/naked. Thanks for watching. Watch this video now of the next chapter of Transform Your Mind, Upgrade Your Life.